boo. Do Georgia D, goatee. Ha, 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 ha.
Georgia does not have a goatee.
That's good.
I like that intro.
That was a good intro.
I like that a lot.
So obviously it's not just me. We have Hannah.
Why are you crawling across the table?
We have Hannah in a unicorn onesie today, since you can't see what's happening. And Caleb dyed his hair purple. Or Caleb's here too, which is a miracle, but he may or may not say anything. So
Oh shoot.
he dyed his hair purple, his beard too, and his nose hairs, and his eyebrows and eyelashes. So it's a sight to see. And his tongue is purple too.
Oh, I love this intro.
Yeah. And I'm really excited because this was like the hardest thing in the whole world to get both these two people in one room and to
One
talk
of us
about.
was hard.
I was gonna say it's not my fault. I had a shift.
The other was super easy.
I just had to have my arm twisted behind my head.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty simple comparatively.
Why did you choose the unicorn onesie for this podcast?
Legit, I used to have a what's it called? Dragon one.
Dragon.
But the tail was too hard to sit on, and so the natural next step is unicorn.
And then the natural next step
not as long.
after those two fictional creatures is a dinosaur.
I don't think that we want to get into that again.
Why did you decide to dye your hair purple, Caleb?
Because I wanted to really flash for this podcast.
Flash?
Interesting choice of words.
Yeah. Flash?
Yeah, really stand out.
That's a better way to say that.
Or a different way.
Okay.
These things, like the onesie and the purple hair, may or may not be true.
And yet we're still talking about it.
So today we're going to be talking about philosophical questions, and we're just going to be
I just like to
discussing
call
them.
them Phil questions.
Phil question.
Philly.
Phil's.
You know what? I always wanted to get Phil's coffee.
We're discussing some Phil's today.
What?
We're discussing some Phil's today.
I really wanted to get Phil's coffee. Okay, we're going to be talking about Phil's. Like, fill in the answer.
Yeah, PH though, because we're cool.
Yep.
Yeah, like fat.
With a PH.
PH.
All right, are you guys...
I'm ready to get into this.
Okay.
People say that money cannot buy happiness, but can you ever be truly happy without any money?
Oh.
You gotta go full Buddha and just
Okay,
like,
well, before money was even in existence, we had things to trade, like beaver skins and
for like food.
corn. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So I guess,
I'm sure those people were
but
happy.
were they really happy?
I think so.
Or were they kind of miserable about the fact that they had to like...
I think the fact that there are generations after them prove that at some point they experienced...
They never seem happy in the photos.
some sort of happiness. That's true, but it's because they
Has
had
there
to
ever
keep
been a
their
time where
face
money
straight.
didn't exist? Like there's some sort of currency? Like I'm thinking like other than like
when they traded.
cavemen? Yeah, but they traded and then also money existed. Like the U.S. currencies existed since like the U.S.
But before the U.S.
Okay, well, like in medieval times they had like doubloons or something.
Native Americans,
Shillings.
they traded.
That's true.
They didn't have any form of currency?
No.
Were they happy?
I think so.
That's a question we don't have the qualifications to answer.
I
so.
think they were happy.
Based on the
Let's pull
movies,
some of our
maybe,
friends in here.
or the books that I never read, sure. There you go. You can, but you have to have a trade system.
A trade system would make me
Next
happy.
question. That was a good one. If you can...
So proud of
So
your
what is
own
our
question.
category? What are we doing?
Philosophy questions.
Are they?
These are super philosophical. They're just not like
They're fun.
deep. They're fun philosophy.
This is light philosophy.
These are lighthearted, yeah. They're like deep, they're questions that make you go, oh, I wonder what about this in the world, but they, you know. So the next one is, if you could change just one thing, you don't get two things, one thing in the world, what would it be?
One thing in the
world?
One thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I would really like to have a full head of hair.
What I'm about to say.
Why don't you just eliminate baldness and then share the wealth?
My gosh, you're right. That's such a selfless way of saying the exact same thing. All male pattern baldness would go away, and then everyone can enjoy.
One thing.
You really took the whole world, and you're like, and just me. I want to be able to make fun of all the other bald people.
I want to still know that other people suffer with this, but I myself don't have to.
Georgia, what you got for us?
Hit us with it.
What would you change?
I was gonna say world peace.
World peace. Thank you, Miss Universe.
And then you were
Thank
like,
you, Miss America.
I know. And then you were like, baldness. And I was like, oh.
Get rid of all the baldness.
Oh my god.
Because despite science's best efforts, they can't do it. World peace is a good one too, but like, you know, I think one would lead to the other. I think men would stop fighting each other if they stopped going bald.
I think
and then all this repressed anger,
exactly,
you know, this repressed like feeling of inadequacy, and so instead of proving that they're adequate by their follicles, they prove it by their fighting skills. You know, I think that really comes down to the root of it.
It's true.
The root of it.
The root of it.
But on
the follicle.
I think
nature of people.
What would your one thing be?
I think my serious answer would be keep Eve from eating the apple. Would be my first.
Yeah, but then like the next generation.
We'd all
well,
be
that's
in the
what
Garden
you
of
think,
Eden.
but we don't know because we don't have the pleasure of.
You heard it here first, Hannah. It was Eve's fault.
No.
One thing led to another, and so
It
I'm just
wasn't
going
Eve.
back to.
Wait.
I'm not saying anything regarding that. I'm just saying. I know that she grabbed the apple first.
She physically put that apple in her mouth
the
first.
table.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we don't even know if it was an apple. Could have been an orange.
Hey, that's
Or
a
a
good
pear.
Do
point.
oranges come on trees?
Oranges?
Which tree gives you the most knowledge?
Well, apples are always associated with knowledge, but that's because
Of the tree.
of our interpretation of the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, like which one helps your brain power the most? That's probably the one I want.
Whatever one makes you the happiest.
Bananas.
Do they
You know-
Stop your
most?
brain from cramping.
Do bananas grow on trees? Oh, you think it was a palm tree? Like a banana tree? Like, aren't they
No,
on
they
palm
couldn't
trees?
reach it.
If
The-
you
the snake-
But we
would
don't know
have to
how
throw
tall
it
they
down.
were.
half of an
We also don't know if
orange-
they climbed up.
half of an orange kind of looks like a brain, so it's probably an orange.
You know, I
That
think
makes
there was an
sense. Vitamin
implication
C.
that the tree of knowledge and good and evil was
The
like
table.
its own thing. So it probably is not a tree that exists. There's probably not that fruit still hanging
Because
around.
in the Garden of Eden, it's all different now. 'Cause
Yeah, it
it's
was
all
like
fallen
blocked
now.
off or
It's
something.
probably the color
yeah.
purple.
What?
It's probably the color purple.
Yeah.
That makes
Never saw
sense.
that movie, but
The
does it have something to do with the tree of knowledge and good and evil?
No, I'm just saying the fruit itself of knowledge and good and evil was probably something that was the color purple.
Okay.
It feels right.
But was it Eve's fault or was it Adam's fault?
You're going back to the really deep ones that are not as fun.
I can't help it. But I just want to discuss this before we go back to
It was Adam's fault
Why?
because it says that when Adam
Yeah, that's a
ate the
good
tree, sin entered the world. Christ is the last Adam.
Word.
When Adam fell in Romans 5, it says sin entered the world. So, I mean, she was pretty innocent. He should have been a good husband. But
A
he
leader?
sucked. He wasn't. Yeah. He could have just been like, no, Eve, I will not eat that tree, and I will cover us both with my holiness.
But what
And
about
instead, he didn't, and he ate it because I don't know.
because Eve told the snake, God said to Adam.
Here's a deeper question that can't be answered. How did Adam sin in the garden if sin didn't enter until after Adam ate of the tree?
Oh, snap.
I didn't even get... Say it again.
How did Adam sin by taking of the tree if sin didn't enter the garden until after he ate it? If he didn't have a sin nature, what pulled him to eat the tree? So can you have no sin nature and still be tempted? Boom.
Can you have no sin
Guess
nature?
That's true.
And still be tempted. Because that's what happened to Adam.
Like Jesus.
Jesus had no sin nature, and yet he was tempted at all points.
Hey.
We've gone full circle. I guess the question can be answered. Okay.
My fun response to that is that I think people should be able to breathe underwater.
Thank you for going back to the original question.
I want to do a fun one. I want to do a fun one. Why breathe underwater?
Because that'd be cool.
Then you can just explore. You know, like, we have the capabilities to explore so much. And I get that we have submarines, but, like, I just want to be able to swim.
Would the water pressure still be, like...
Dang it! You just put a hole in my
because you can only get one, so you can only go so
bubble.
deep.
That's true.
You can only go so deep, because, you can breathe underwater, but then the water pressure crushes your skull.
All right, well, you know what? At that point, though, you probably don't want to become in hand-to-hand combat with the fish that are down there anyway.
Yeah, honestly, have you ever seen that one with the big, like, light, and it has these big teeth? Like, last thing I want to do is be down in the middle of, like, pitch darkness.
It's true.
Breathing.
Yeah.
I'd rather be down there dead.
In Luca? In Luca, the movie?
Or not at all.
Or in a sub.
Those fish, they have see-through bodies that are down there.
Yeah.
It's see-through.
But it's so dark you couldn't tell if it was or not.
It's true.
It's see-through.
Yeah. It's gross.
So I think it's a decent one, but...
It has its limits. It's true.
I don't know. There's so many things I could do if I did a fun one.
But you can only change one thing in the world.
But the first thing that kind of came to my mind, which is probably not the thing I would actually pick if I had a really long time to think about it.
You don't.
If I don't have a lot of time to think about it, I would say childbirth would be like the funnest thing ever and no pain.
Oh, that's probably also
I guess it's not a
good
fun
thing.
one either.
You know, that kind of goes back to the Eve thing.
Hey, I'm trying to help you out, Caleb. I'm trying to bring it back.
Thanks, Eve, for what you did. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
All right, next thing. Let's see here. Let's find a good one.
So childbirth was easy. But Eve didn't even produce a baby.
Do you?
Yet.
Oh wait, no wait, that's not a good
Man,
one.
that sucks. She didn't even know what she was missing out on.
Yeah, she didn't even get.
Yeah, what the heck would a pre-fallen baby would have been like? Like pre-fallen birth. He would just, went right out. No problem.
Like poop.
I guess all the animals got to experience that.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
We'll have to ask an animal. Maybe they passed down the story for generations.
Are animals in heaven?
Oh, that's a good one.
Are animals in heaven?
I don't think so.
Nobody can actually answer that.
I don't think there is. There's no. I don't know. There's nothing said about it. I think we're not going to be in heaven forever. So.
You think there's a new earth?
The book of Revelation where it says there'll be a new heaven, a new earth, and there won't be a separation between the two. There's still a new earth involved.
No.
So maybe there'll be animals.
Maybe there'll be new animals too.
Maybe there's new animals. Yeah, maybe the animals will be on the new earth, but not in the new heaven because there's no physical bodies in heaven.
Yeah.
Physical bodies.
There's no physical bodies in heaven.
We get a new body.
So we get floating
cats.
It's
a figure of speech. I think. I don't actually know that. I'd have to study that out. I don't know.
We get flying dogs in heaven.
Will all dogs go to heaven?
I don't think so.
There's probably unicorns in heaven.
You got nothing from that.
Somebody dreamt it, but it was because it came from
a movie.
Let's see here.
Okay.
See, these are not as... So the first one was fun. Now we're getting into territory where it's not as fun. Let's see.
That's why I pulled my phone out. Let's see.
If you knew you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do today?
The table.
Sorry. I bet slammed it.
I love that
if
question.
If you knew you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do? You kind of had something similar.
I did a whole week, though.
Yeah, but we didn't. So you're going to die, tomorrow. And it's already, 11:44 at night, so really you only have 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
You're dying in 20 minutes. In 15 minutes, what do you do?
15 minutes, I'm dead?
Yeah.
Oh, That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Shoot,
I definitely wouldn't be talking on this podcast right now.
I was
What would
gonna
you
say
do?
I would probably go back to my parents and like
Just
FaceTime
say,
my brothers and hang
"Love
out
you."
with them for
For
like
like
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get a good cell service.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What if on your way to go see your parents, there was a crash right in front of you, and then you somehow couldn't get to your house?
And she
What
would
am I
just
doing
die
in
not seeing her
solitude?
parents. She can't control the fact she dies anyway, so she just wouldn't see her parents at that point.
Your mom would be.
I don't know. I would
so
probably
mad at you.
break down and cry at that point. It's like, wow, I'm gonna die, and I couldn't even say goodbye to my
She
family.
could just scream at them. They'd
Sure.
hear. They'd hear through the window. Goodbye.
It's true. Our windows are so thin.
If I had 15 minutes to live, I would just kind of sit quietly and wait for it.
Are you serious? You
Yeah.
just wait for death.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What am I do? Stress about it?
You would talk to your family.
Well, yeah, but she's right here, so I'd say, all right, I love you.
Okay, well, that's an added element you did not mention.
I go kiss my son.
You're not just gonna go
Would you
sit
wake
there
him up,
by
or
yourself.
would you let him sleep?
Ooh, my son's asleep. He probably wouldn't remember me anyway. Do I wake him up so that he doesn't remember
But
me
it's
waking
more
him up
for you
so that
that-
I can see him, or do I? But the problem with waking him up is then you have to deal with him being woken up out of sleep.
She's gonna
And
be
you die.
she's gonna
and
be crying
so now I'm
in
gonna
15
be
minutes.
dead.
That's gonna wake her up anyway.
So that means I'm gonna be dead, and you're gonna have to deal with an upset baby who doesn't understand the severity of the moment. So it'd be better if I didn't wake him up.
I'm sad.
Georgia will literally be crying in like
I'll be
15,
bawling
10
my-
minutes.
I'll be
That'll
dying.
wake
Okay,
him
let's
up
do this
anyways.
better. Okay, so obviously it was 15 minutes till tomorrow, so that one. What if it was late tomorrow, like tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow like 2:30?
I would get a tattoo.
I would get a whole
What would you get?
sleeve. No, I wouldn't.
What was your pre-death tattoo?
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
Oh my god.
I think I did something that would be funny for the casket. I don't know.
Oh, that's
on your forehead?
Heck yeah.
Return to sender,
Yeah.
right on the forehead.
Return to sender. That
That's too good.
That works.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
That's another good philosophy question.
I
What
would probably
tattoo
eat
would you get
so
right
much
before you
ice
die?
cream.
Dude, that's a good one. Just binge all the worst foods for you.
Literally, yeah.
Because what does it matter? You're about to be, 6 feet under anyway.
sushi all day. Or
Yeah.
just bring Carrie sushi a bucket.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're constipated because it's all gonna go once you die anyway.
Yeah, that would be kind of stinky for the.
For the cleanup crew.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, but,
that's a good point.
At least you lived well for the last, 12 hours.
I don't know what I would do.
So
I'd
far,
probably just be doing what I'm doing now.
Are you serious? You know you're
You'd
gonna
be
die
sitting-
and you just live a
so you're telling me you do your
day-to-day life.
emails for your work?
I'm not doing emails right now.
Oh, you just sit here and talk into the podcast. That'd be a really crazy podcast. I'm gonna die in 12 hours, so it's gonna be a 12-hour podcast.
You would get so many police at your front door. I've thought.
Yeah, but it's not a live stream podcast. So they won't
Oh,
know.
good
But
point.
then somebody else will be responsible to post it. So you'd have to stop before you died and post it.
I wouldn't be doing a podcast. I'd just be talking with you people.
Yeah. End it with us.
That's really how you plan your last hours on Earth.
Well,
Yeah.
the approach she's coming from is you should be treating every day like it's your last day.
Yeah.
So if you're doing stuff that you think is completely pointless and irrelevant and doesn't have meaning in your life,
Yeah.
then why do you do it anyway?
I did
She's
not
enjoying
gauge that at
she's
all.
enjoying
Thank
her
you.
day to day. She's enjoying what she's doing
Huh.
today, and so she's like, I wouldn't change anything because I'm already
Gotcha.
I'm already doing something that's meaningful to me.
Thank you for explaining. That went way over my head.
I definitely would eat more junk food.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Yeah, that's something that I don't do because I am conscious of the fact that I'm going to be alive, hopefully for longer.
How many hours again?
I mean, it's like I'm thinking 2:30, 2:35, 2:36 maybe.
Yeah, I probably can't catch a direct flight to Ohio. I'd
Yeah.
want to see my brothers in person again.
Yeah, just spend all the money though that you have because you have.
You could
no
maybe
age.
just maybe there would be one that's ready to go. You know what I mean? Because what's the soonest
could
flight to
probably
Ohio? It's
find a
probably
flight.
super early in the
That
morning.
fast, though? Really?
How far is Ohio? What, 5 hours?
Unless you had
flying?
layovers, that was
long
a
is
real.
it?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I.
What if you got stuck
never.
in an airport?
Oh yeah.
Sucks.
Your
Yeah,
flight
you
gets
suck.
canceled.
It's honestly
You
worth
wouldn't
the
even
risk.
You know
It's
what? You
worth the
could
risk.
get 3 flights and go with your parents to see your brothers.
That's true.
Honestly, just use your whole life savings on it.
Yeah.
You know, who you pass
because it is my whole life at that point.
It
is my whole life.
This is basically your retirement, so.
That's a great, good point.
Yep. I think that was good.
If I were to get stuck, you keep finding one. If I were to get stuck in the airports, I would just throw the biggest party, like just start, I don't know.
By yourself or with your parents?
No, I'd be like, hey, everybody.
I'm going to die.
I don't know that you know what, that's a good point. I don't know that I'd tell them because then I'd probably get arrested on the spot.
Yeah,
this girl's
you wouldn't get arrested.
What does it matter if you get arrested?
Well, because my
then
point is, I just want to
Why would you get arrested?
Do spontaneous things with strangers. So where people do like suddenly flash dances and what are they called? Flash mobs?
I would love to see you try that.
Dance
and watch how nobody wants to join you on your flash mob.
No, I know, but I'm dying, so it doesn't matter.
And then your last experience would be disappointment in other people.
It would not be disappointment because what if I'm starting with no expectations anyway, which is true. But mainly it's like,
are you getting people to do a flash mob in 50?
I would just ask nicely, and then I'd whisper, "I'm gonna say."
Please do this with me for my last memory. That would work. Hands down.
I think that's a good answer. This next one. Which makes a better pet? A cat or a dog?
Ooh.
And why? We're getting deep here.
It really depends on your goals. If you are the kind of person who just wants to be inside all day, introvert to the max.
You're speaking my language so far.
Then your goal is a cat. But if you're more outdoorsy and you like to go explore the world, then you would want a dog.
Wow, that's interesting.
What would you say?
I used to love dogs, and I feel like I've had some.
And then he became an introvert.
No, I just feel like I've had some recent experiences with dogs that make me realize dogs suck.
If you're talking about
dogs are so needy. You know what it is? You know what it is?
If you're talking about the 5 dogs that were around all the time, then yeah,
I don't have the capacity as a human being to give dogs the attention they need. Yeah. I much prefer cats that I didn't like if they were in the house or not, I wouldn't even know.
Word.
And then, but the only thing I say, I one time babysat my pastor's dogs / cat. Okay.
Was it a cat and a dog?
There was 2 dogs and a cat.
Oh.
And 2 dogs were absolutely insane.
They were the pastors.
And the cat was
pastor's
a very nice cat. Okay, but it's the first real interaction I've ever had with a cat. Because my dad was allergic to cats growing up, so I couldn't really interact with them. And then I had this one interaction where a cat slashed my leg while I was trying to pee. Whole long story, don't go into it. But those were my experiences with cats. And then I finally ran into this cat, and this cat was being terrorized by these 2 absolutely below average IQ dogs. And I have 2 vivid memories of this cat. 3 vivid memories of this cat. First one. My pastor had this staircase that went down to the basement, but instead of it being like one where it kind of like winds, you know what I mean? It was just one long staircase from top to bottom. So it was super steep. So I opened the door, okay, to let the dogs in to the house because they had to sleep inside, but I had them go out there so I can go pee and all that. So I opened the door to let the dogs in, and then as I'm walking to the stairs, I'm like maybe a third of the way down the stairs, and dogs spot the cat, and they start chasing the cat. So the cat, I just hear go, and then it just literally jumps from the top of the stairs over my head and glides all the way down and lands at the bottom of the stairs running away. And the dogs then bumble past me and knock me over. And I gotta say, it literally made the entire leap. It was the most that cat legit flew. It was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. So I was like, instant respect for that cat. Okay, had to do what it had to do. Number 2, my second most vivid memory is when I went to go sleep because I was trying to sleep on the couch because I didn't really feel comfortable sleeping in any of his kids' beds because it just I don't know, something about it just felt weird. You know,
agreed.
The size of the bed wasn't, I don't know, it's just
Goldilocks moment.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't right. So anyway, I was laying there and then the cat went and laid on my chest. I thought, okay, it was kind of annoying at first, but then as it started purring, I didn't realize that a cat's purr is like the most soothing sound that exists in humankind. And you can't really appreciate it by listening to an audio recording. You have to like legit like have the cat
because of the vibration.
Because of the vibrations and everything. And this thing started purring. And I was just like in La La Land, zoned out, like super enjoying that. So that was another benefit of a cat. The thing that sucked is I woke up with this cat on my face. And that wasn't fun. When I woke up and the cat's body was literally just sitting on my face, that I think was a downside of cats, and something that a dog would never do. But to then counter again is I also woke up to dogs licking my face because they needed to go out to pee.
There you go.
So really, there's no winning with any animals. I think we shouldn't have any.
Wow. Say all that to say no pets. End of story.
Kind of my
goodness.
So cats or dogs, G?
I think cats are gross.
Because they lick themselves?
Because they're just
dogs
gross.
do too.
Cats poop stinks so bad.
Have you smelled a dog's poop?
Yeah, but dogs poop outside naturally. Cats will poop inside, and that's disgusting. And I think cats
That's because where the sand is. If you put a sand pit outside, they would find that.
Yeah, why don't you put a sand pit outside?
Trust me.
And then dogs are definitely more fun, but annoying.
I have so many cat
Wait a
videos
minute.
I'm gonna
Wait a
send
minute. Wait a minute. I can't move past this. Cats only poop in sand?
Yes.
Well, like the things of
Sandbox.
that they can bury. They like to bury it. So it's not just sand.
We had a sandbox and we lived in Minneapolis. Cats would poop in it.
So what the heck do like wild cats do? Where if there's no sand? What if they're not near a beach?
They probably find some kind of dirt.
Interesting. Sorry, back to your thing. I couldn't move on from that question in my head.
That's a good question.
I didn't realize they only
Dogs kind of
now you can sleep
cover it sometimes. But anyways, dogs, I would probably, if I had to choose one, a well-behaved, non-stinky, short-haired running dog. That's the only thing. It had to be well-behaved. If it wasn't behaved, bye. No tolerance.
What's gonna happen to Everest?
He does not have no. If we have kids and they're of great age, meaning 8 or above or something, very old enough to make good decisions.
8 is the great age?
Yes. Old. They have to be old kids. And they want a dog if they're like crazy begging for a dog for
No, I'm
5
saying,
years.
I'm saying what's gonna happen when Everest
wants a dog.
No, like there was a tantrum or something. You're like, you know what? That's at Everest. We gave you a good run, but you're out of the house.
This
you're not well behaved.
No, this only applies to dogs or cats, but cats are stupid.
See,
so.
I think your heart just needs to expand a little bit.
No, I don't want to deal with that. They're so annoying. And I've had a recent also experience with animals, where my tolerance has gotten extremely short.
Yeah.
But I had one dog that was like a family member that I really loved. That was my only experience with a really good dog. All the other dogs were like demons. Actual demons.
I can see why.
Where they would run into like cars driving 60 miles an hour down the road and then run into the hubcap and live over and over again. Actual demon dog. Like, did not listen, ruined everything. We named her Sugar, but should have been
that
demon.
That is way too sweet of a name.
But sugar is of the devil. Ooh.
Oh.
Anyways,
put a cherry on that one.
I like animals, but okay, that sounded really sinister. But like, I've had a recent experience where I was like, cannot handle these animals. But if they're really well behaved, I really like animals.
Word.
All right. Are you ready?
It was like 30 minutes on animal topics.
When you go to a movie theater and the seats have armrests, which one is yours and which one is your neighbor's?
They only have one. Sometimes they have 2 armrests, don't they?
Well, you're talking about like the new love seat ones.
Yeah.
That are really nice. But like old fashioned, literally was just like one thing, and you had to share it.
It's the same thing with the airplane.
Same with the airplane. Yeah. So what's your approach to that? Because mine is very specific. I will intentionally tuck my arms in and put my elbows out so that I get the back of the armrest. Because what I hate having my arms go forward and then someone's elbow is like behind me. I'd rather be the one behind someone else's elbow. And normally when you tuck yours in and put it in like on the sides, on the back of the armrest, that kind of establishes like, I got here first, dude. So if they do want to be bold enough to put it in the front, they have to suffer more than you.
And then you become best friends with them. We shared an armrest. It was great.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go.
Are you not touching?
I mean, there might be slight
holding
contact
hands at that point.
like genuine, like maybe just like a little bit of touching, but like not like super deep.
Your clothes are touching. You're not touching.
I mean, it depends on how big their arm is. They might be a big arm person. You know what I mean? Or maybe they got big lats. Might brush against that.
I hate that. My approach is don't sit next to strangers, and then if it's somebody
what if it's a full theater?
Then I don't go to the theater.
Just don't go full plane. Can't do it. You can't know what your assignment
full plane,
is.
yeah. Then I honestly just don't use the armrest.
You tuck in.
I don't use it.
I avoid.
I'll revert to no armrest.
I have to have the armrest. I have to have some kind of mobility, else I'll go crazy. And if somebody decides to put their arms in the armrest, the moment they move them, I'll sneak in there.
Kind of funny.
I just hope if they ever get there before me and have the armrest, I hope they go to the bathroom halfway through. And I'll put the armrest. I'll put my arms down, and then it's like you forfeited it. It's mine now.
Huh. Man, I'm trying to think because I'm always next to you, so I almost always get the window anyways, or the aisle, or the middle. But then
those are your 3 options.
Oh my gosh.
but you're always on one side, so I just. Trying to remember what it was like before you did the tuck in elbow thing and I said next to you. I don't know.
I feel like you probably just deferred.
I just tucked in. Probably.
Yeah. I think I probably have to have a little bit, even if it's just the tips of my elbows.
I don't think I need
have to be on the armrest.
An armrest.
I feel like I just
the weenus has to at least be touching.
I'll like hold my.
You put your legs up.
Yeah, hold my legs or something. Because I feel you like doing something with your arms. So then I'll just
there has to be some kind of movement.
Oh, I think I also put
Or I'll put my leg behind my head. I just wanted to see your reaction. I'm just kidding.
I think I'll also put
I'll just lick the person's arm.
And then they'll move it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
they'll become my best friend.
Yeah.
Did you just lick my arm? Yeah, we're best friends now. That's how
lick my arm.
That's how I claimed you.
I guess we have to be best friends.
Exactly.
Now.
Here's another one that we don't need to take 20 minutes on.
Wait.
You want to kill on the armrests? You want to still
try that again?
Do you want to still go with the armrest conversation?
No, but I have one more. I sometimes will take the thing. What's the thing in the front? The tray.
You're talking about the plane, not the movie theater.
Yeah, I don't ever go to the
movie theater.
I don't even do movie theaters. I don't even know what it's like inside when I've never been in one before.
So the airplane tray.
Yeah, I just lean on that. I think I lean forward.
Stable enough to hold body weight?
Okay, maybe I don't lean on it.
I was going to say, it doesn't look that...
If it is or isn't, I do it anyway. The amount of times I've tried to fall asleep on that and I keep hitting my head here. The worst thing is when you try to put it down and you put your head down to fall asleep and then this bozo in front of you pushes back on the thing.
Then you're dead.
And then your neck's just like... Yeah, you feel a little bit of a crack happen in your skull. And then...
You were never the same after.
Yeah, honestly.
Your memories got erased.
That's probably why I lost my hair.
Or did they get super...
That's probably why I lost my hair. Okay, what was the next one?
This one doesn't have to be super deep.
That means it's another animal one.
Should a vegetarian eat animal crackers?
Oh my...
Yes.
No, they shouldn't. It's hypocritical. They should only eat veggie crackers. Crackers in the shape of veggies.
You know, that's a good point.
Bunch of hypocrites.
Why
I'll eat an animal as long as it's made of bread.
Yeah, if they're really being... Well, it depends on a vegan's, like, reasons
vegan
for
or
being...
vegetarian?
Oh, you're right.
Should one of those weird PETA people that are, like, protesting everything...
Right, yeah. If the vegetarian is vegetarian, not because of allergies.
They're doing it because they're like, I like the deer's eyes.
Yes, then they should not eat animal crackers.
And they also shouldn't eat any of these fake burger things because it's also hypocritical. It's hypocritical.
No,
You're basically just admitting how much you want meat. And then, but let me say this.
I like them.
Let me say this.
They taste
you
good.
can, as a vegetarian, eat animal crackers, but you have to do the method where you bite off all the heads first. Okay, next one.
So it's humane?
Yeah, you have to look at them in the eyes after that. You know what I mean? You just.
I think they should have a funeral for them before they eat them.
That's a good one. Ceremony.
Yeah.
There should
be music.
Yeah.
Everyone dresses in black.
You're right. It really should be like a grieving thing.
It should be a sad thing.
Yeah. What's the most humane way of killing a cracker? I still think biting the heads off first. But
an injection, yeah. And then they numb them.
Oh, they have to inject those crackers first. Yeah. That's good. Because at least then they're like, their way of thinking is the same.
Exactly.
You know, like they're consistent.
It's a line.
We're just talking about consistency here, folks.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just not being hypocritical.
What's that word again?
Hypocritical.
Hypocritical.
I should have had another one ready, but I was really invested in that vegetarian.
I like the animal cracker one because just calling out all the vegetarians.
Do you like tofu? Is the question.
I'm kind of a vegetarian, except I eat meat.
Then you are not kind of a vegetarian.
Yeah, that's like the exact opposite.
No, but I prefer vegetarian lifestyle.
Except for the meat part.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Except
the
for
only meats, like,
core.
honestly, I could never eat meat again unless we were at B-Dubs. I would want meat. But I could have the cauliflower ones. Oh, those are good.
Oh, this is a good one. I love this one.
Okay, go.
I'm really excited about this. If you work out every day to add an hour to your life, aren't you using that extra hour you've added so that working out doesn't really add any hours to your life?
Yes. That's a good point.
So I'm not dying early. I'm just simply not, like, how do I word that? I'm not dying early. I'm just not using the time to work out. Yeah.
Exactly.
So instead of, I worked out every day for the last 10 years for an hour. And what that did is it gave me, like, an extra, whatever the equivalent of that number would be, to my life. But you used all that time up anyway, so you're just getting that time back. But at the end, when you can't, you're getting that time back, but you're getting it at a time in your life where you can't really do anything. So I would have rather used the time while I could use it with a nice young body.
Except you might miss where we send people to Mars. So think about that.
You don't think they'll send fat people?
I think. No, I'm saying, and those last. Let's say that you are naturally gonna die at, I don't know, 65 or something like that.
Whoa,
not working out.
That's young.
Yes, it is.
65?
Yeah, it's for.
You're just assuming everyone dies of a heart attack.
No. It's for my example right now.
Okay, yeah.
That somebody without exercising right now is gonna die at 65. What they don't know is that 10 years later, they send somebody to the moon.
Or 10 years later, they're going to find a cure for exercising.
Cure for exercising.
Oh my gosh. So, the point of living longer is so that you can see all the things.
Wait, did you say to the moon?
Did I? I meant
You
Mars.
said to the moon, because I'm like, I thought that already happened.
So
unless you're implying that it didn't happen,
no,
in which case that's a real...
I'm not trying to open up another can of worms. No,
that's another possibility.
You're right, Mars. Also, you might be able to see the iPhone 75 come out, and I feel like
it will be slightly smaller.
Probably, yeah.
But they'll have a little
bit under a microscope, so that's how small.
But this is the thing that's interesting about that. Do I actually care about seeing somebody go to Mars? Like, if it did happen, it would be interesting. But would I be, if I was like, let's just say I was 85, 95, and I told myself, well, I could live another 10 years and see us land on Mars, or I could not live another 10 years and I wouldn't see that. I don't think the Mars thing would be what would cause me to want to live longer.
Would you want to see the birth of your 7th great-grandchild?
Now that is way more appealing than seeing some dudes land on Mars potentially.
There you go.
So you use the hour now so that you can gain seeing your great-grandchild later.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Jonas Brothers.
Instead of not using the hour now,
I don't get that.
and then you just die earlier.
Yes, exactly.
The
year 3000 song.
I feel like this is a really important question for you because you really want me to work out.
Ah.
So this really hit deep, hit home.
She's crying over it.
I am.
Look at those water
My eyes are watering for some reason. I don't really know why. No, I don't think that what you're saying is valid at all.
Okay.
What What part? He
part?
said a lot of
quite
words.
a bit.
No, I think
She doesn't like that I basically said why even work out, because I'm losing the hour at the end anyway, or I'm gaining the hours that I lost anyway.
it's a good point though. You're using a lot of time to work out.
It's
But
a
I
good
think-
philosophy question.
but
Thank
I
you,
think-
internet.
Yeah. I think that you are healthy, and
Shots fired.
if you do work out, I think overall your lifespan you will be more healthy, and I think you also feel better throughout your life and your day.
The quality of life
Quality of
when
life
you're
will
not
be
working out
increased.
might be better.
Yeah, and most likely today in society, people
But-
will waste that hour anyways doing something frivolous.
But this isn't a question of why you should work out, because there's a whole million other reasons why. It's more so it's very specific.
Yeah, to the time.
It's for the sake of adding that time later on, and in
'Cause
that
it does
case,
add up.
it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I want to. I like this one. This is not the actual question, but this made me think of a different question. Okay, why is it that a dog likes it when you pet him with your hand, but doesn't like it when you pet him with your foot?
Right?
It is the most annoying thing if I'm sitting on the couch.
Seriously, yeah.
And I just want to let my dog know I love him, but I don't want to get down there and be at his level. I want to pet him with my foot, rub him a little bit there, and they always just look at you like, "Can you stop?" And then as soon as you get your hands involved, it's like, it's like, what's the difference really?
I think because
There's
feet
one.
are weaponized. They're like, you're gonna touch me with your foot. That implies punishment.
Kicking me?
Yeah.
How often do we kick our dogs?
They see it happen in the world.
Oh,
The word has gotten around.
so a completely
on TV.
isolated dog will absolutely let
I think
you
so.
rub it with your
Yeah,
feet.
unless I watches TV. And then it sees
Because that happens a lot in movies,
sharks. No,
kicking
I'm
dogs
just kidding.
and TV shows. I can't think of the last time I saw a TV show that had a dog
Maybe
being
actually hate
maybe
it
it
when you
wants
rub
your
their feet on
maybe
it.
it wants your feet. Maybe it wants your face being closer to it
I feel
because
like
they like
you
the
can't
face to
actually.
face.
You can't actually itch. So every
Oh,
podcast
I got some good toe.
yawn.
I got some good toe.
And I just
I've got some good toe
Ew.
ability. I'll get in there.
Okay, the word is
But I don't think that you can do it like you can with your fingers.
That's a good point, actually.
I did my daily podcast yawn, just throwing it out there. Every podcast I yawn. Doesn't matter what time, it's the weirdest thing.
Here's another question. This is probably not philosophical. This is more practical.
All right.
Why do they nail down the lid of a coffin?
Because they think they might get out.
Do they always nail it down? Even on the modern ones?
I don't know.
It doesn't look like
there's
there's
probably
a
like a
nail.
latch or something.
Why would they nail it down? Because
Probably to keep it from
out.
blowing over at an untimely moment.
Oh yeah, I guess back in the day, you're laying there and a gust of wind comes in,
Yeah.
catches the lid and flows it off, and then all of a sudden Uncle
Wouldn't it
Jerry's
be-
sitting there because
Exactly.
they didn't have the same
But wouldn't it be too heavy? Especially in the olden days, heavy
the
duty.
lid?
No, we're thinking an old creek, an old western where they have that old trashy piece of wood.
Yeah, but what about not the mahogany ones?
Oh, the really rich people ones.
Yeah, no.
They probably
those
didn't have
ones, I don't
nails.
think they nail
Yeah.
those ones.
Yeah, they're talking about you just threw a guy basically in some random casket that kind of
It's like,
fit,
we never
but
wanna see
but
that
his
hit.
head was a little crooked because he was a little bit too tall for it, and they didn't have time to
Yeah,
make
they
a new
want to
one.
hide that. They're embarrassed.
Yeah.
Why do you? This is random. Why do you park in a driveway and drive in a parkway?
What the heck is a parkway? Let's start there.
Oh, he's up.
Oh, bye.
So there's not going to be any continuity there. So I can't tell. I can't talk today. It's hard to English. Since there's no continuity today.
Continuity.
Next question. If you were born with a different name, would you have a different personality?
Yes.
I say yes.
Why
Well,
is that?
I guess it depends on it has
I
to be a
think you do.
dramatic change.
If I was a Matt, you know what I mean? If my name was Matt, I'd be like, hey, bro. You know what I mean? I'd be doing Matt things. What's up, bro? How you
I
doing,
feel
man?
like Matt is on the same par as Caleb.
No, Caleb is way more like preppy white boy. Matt is like, what's up,
Preppy white
dude?
boy. Maybe
what
it's
is-
because
bro?
it's probably because I went to school with a preppy white boy Matt, so that one doesn't really ring.
Oh, he wasn't living up to his name.
Oh, sorry. I'll have to tell him.
Hey, bro? Like what?
Like, dude.
Why is his eyes all squinted? He can't see.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm just like Matt, bro. Like, this is what we do. We're just Matts.
Matts just lay around and do nothing.
No, they just talk like that.
I feel like it has to be a more dramatic change than that for it to really affect me. Like, if my name got changed to, like... Well, it's funny because I was going to say Sheena.
I was going to say Shelby.
Sheena.
So what would Sheena be? I can't say what Sheena Hannah would be because then you're still associating with Hannah.
I feel like Sheena would definitely be more, like, girly and care more about money and stuff.
What about Kristen, though?
Kristen?
Ooh.
I feel like...
Kristen is way bubbly, so you're kind of already a Kristen.
That's hilarious. Because my interpretation of Kristen is my aunt, who I'm named after. And she's, like, very... She's, like, a very...
Her middle name is Kristen.
Anyway, she's very bold and hilarious. So I feel like Kristens have to be that way, too.
You know, I feel like if my name was Ryan, which my middle name is Ryan, but it's not my first name, totally different thing. Your middle name does not determine your personality, but your first name does. If my first name was Ryan, I feel like I'd be like, I feel like Ryans are more like a confidence dude. Like, he's confident, you know what I mean? Like, he believes he can do it. Like a Ryan, if you put a Ryan in a situation where he had to make a decision, he would just go like, yeah, this is the decision we gotta make because I'm Ryan.
But wasn't Caleb in the Bible, like, confident?
That's true. Yeah, what the heck? Caleb.
What would your name be?
Live up to your name.
What would your different name be?
Just kidding.
My different name?
Yeah, and what would your personality that would match it?
I think if you asked me this
What if
when
you
I
were,
was
what if you were like a Susan?
Or a Nora.
Yeah, no. I think Susan and
Nora?
Nora is good. Yeah, Nora. What if your name wasn't Georgia, but it was Nora?
If my name was Nora, I would like to knit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
And I would be really like...
You would like cats.
Yeah, I would really love cats if I was a Nora, and I would love to knit.
You'd wear a lot of pink sweaters.
And yes, and they're really long dresses. With a really big
kind
hat.
of an ugly texture to the dresses.
Yes, and a big old nasty hat with a big brim all around the whole way, 360.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's the most accurate one we've had so far.
We apologize to any Noras listening.
I love
They probably just were described right now.
They were probably nodding in agreement.
Yeah, they were like, how did you know?
But Noras are like really thought-provoked. They like to think.
They're
and
very
observe.
thoughtful.
They like, you know what they do? They like to read those romance novels
Yes.
with the cowboy
Oh my
without a
gosh.
shirt on the front.
Ew.
You know what I mean?
Don't
They
diss all the
definitely-
Noras like that.
They definitely like to observe, and they have lots to say, but they don't ever say it.
Yeah, because they're like too embarrassed that people won't like them.
But they are really. They have a lot of knowledge.
But they never tell you what that is.
Well, that begs the question.
Unless you're at their house eating cookies.
That's true.
I think he's laughing.
By that begs the question, I mean that begs the question. Have you ever met somebody that didn't live up to their name, or that you felt this doesn't make sense for you to be named this way?
I'm sure.
Or
I
has
have.
everything just kind of made sense? Because then that kind of puts...
Has there ever been a person that didn't match their name?
Yeah. Like you meet them and you're like, that does not fit you at all. Because then that kind of puts the pin through this whole balloon of if you were to change your name, then would you be different? Because clearly it can be done.
I'm so curious. Now I have to, every time I meet
Now I have to
someone.
I have to think. That's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
That's the best question I've heard all night.
Is it?
Have you ever met someone that doesn't match their name?
Yes, exactly.
I feel like I have, though. Like, I can't sit here and be like, yes.
For the part 2. It's for the part 2
Part
podcast.
2. We'll come back to it.
Exactly.
I think for part 2, I kind of want to do would you rather
Wrap
questions.
it up.
Okay.
Lady.
All right. Thank you, Caleb and Hannah, for spending time answering amazing, may or may not be amazing questions. And part 1 of this randomness was super fun, and I'm glad that you guys were here, even though the beginning was a train wreck, which you will never know, I guess.
We got the rough draft out of the way.
Which were really amazing questions.
They weren't.
They were.
Maybe they were good for.
Honestly, we don't even need to bring it up because they're not going to hear it anyway.
Yeah, so yeah, you can follow GoTGD on Twitter and comment any topic that you want us to talk about. Us, by us, I mean me. Because who knows if these goofs will be back. Actually, we're going to do a part 2 of Would You Rather. Hopefully. Maybe.
I think we could make that happen.
I think Would You Rather would be really
We
fun.
hope you've cried.
Also, you can DM me at Hertzberg _ on Instagram. Please leave a review because it helps boost the algorithm. And
Preferably a good review.
Yeah, a good
or
review.
Or an honest review. If
An
they didn't
honest-
like it,
An honest
they should probably,
and a
we
good
should probably
review.
know.
Okay, an honest review.
It's good for you to say, completely disassociated with it.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.